Well, here we go with a review. It's been a while since we've had a helicopter, and this one happens to be a really sweet helicopter. It's available at Flightsim.to. It is the HCG Cabri G2 helicopter project. It's a 160 horsepower, four-cylinder Lycoming piston engine with seating for two, designed by Bruno Guimbal of France. I have no idea if that's how you pronounce that. It's a very popular light helicopter used for training purposes. Again, it is available on Flightsim.to. Was released today by HCG, whose helicopters we have seen and love. And this is a project that was built from scratch by the developer, but he does thank some people who gave him some help. It does require AirlandFS. There are a couple of restrictions, or not restrictions, but requirements. For instance, before you start the flight, you have to set the empty CG position in the payload menu to as close to 4.5% as you can get, or as close to 5% as you can get it without exceeding 5%. And then you follow the checklist to start the engine. And it again requires AirlandFS, so you have to have a profile. So you can see a very well done cockpit here. A lot of very nice detail, very readable, very clear. Textures are really sweet. So before they get those doors closed all the way, let's get this bird out there on the ramp and check her out. It has been quite a while since I've been in a helicopter. This is a very, very pretty cockpit. I really like the way this is done. This is going to be fun to fly, I think. Uh-oh, closing the doors. Let's hurry up and get her out. So here we are now outside. We are parked on the ramp at Boston, in Boston, at Logan International at the fuel pumps. We just filled up the tanks here, and so we're going to take a look at it inside and just explore the interior a little bit. A couple of views from the outside here. So sitting here with Sophia, she tends to be in a lot of my helicopters. I'm going to adjust my seat position here. And so there's a lot in here, believe it or not, for such a little thing. There's this, oops, see if you click on it, you can actually remove the iPad besides just opening it. So there you go. So there's an iPad here. You have the main display on the panel. You have another display down below here, below all the buttons. You cannot fly in falling snow. You have your annunciator lights up here along the top. Again, the buttons are down here. Master, lights, pump, alternate, clutch. All of those are down here. Oh, it's a little tough to click on some of these in VR when they overlap each other. But everything clickable down here. Everything, of course, this won't turn on yet. I don't have the power on. You have these here, which, as you can see, can be moved. You got the keys for your car sitting in the center console there, which is kind of neat. So let's get everything turned on here and see what powers up. And so up here you have your mixture is the red handle, and the left handle is the rotor brake. And then you have your other controls here. And we'll probably do a full review of this at some point. I gotta draw out a little chart because I'm not familiar with all of the buttons in here. But everything so far that I've tried has been clickable, and that's really all I'm doing right now. I'm just showing that as more than the startup procedure and everything. The startup procedure is all done out on the checklist. Oops, I guess that's as far as it goes. I'm not sure. I may not be clicking that properly. Usually they move a little bit further. The buttons here on the stick do not click. So we'll get these turned on here. And like I said, you get everything up here. I'm not sure which of these are I don't think these are the starter. I haven't been able to figure out where the starter button is. Everything else I can identify in the checklist. So, oh, I see. Okay, so we're not started, so we're getting some alarms here and some issues. So the co-pilot has her own. Fan doesn't turn on. Interesting. Or I'm not clicking the right hotspot. So, but like I said, I just wanted to kind of check it out real quick. Got the checklist here, which is pretty good. 16 steps to the startup. Now the show doesn't work on, put the eyes on. It doesn't work in VR, unfortunately, that I ever seen, at least not in most aircraft. Well, you have the full checklist here. Yeah, see starter, hold until ignition, and I can't for the life of me figure out where the starter is because none of these buttons say starter. So we're going to do an auto start so we can just check it out. Now, it's been a while since I've flown a helicopter, and quite a while, so it's going to be a little funny, I'm sure, before I get my feeling for it. But let's go ahead and take off. The AirlandFS profile is loaded, so we should be good to go. And, actually, you know what? Yeah, there we go. So AirlandFS profile. You have to make sure your flight is actually ready to go, helicopter started, before you enable the AirlandFS profile. Okay, so I just realized my controls had never been set up for a helicopter profile, but I just did that, so we should be able to fly a little bit easier now. So again, it's Logan International in Boston. I thought it'd be kind of a fun place since it's an area I used to live and work in, so I thought it'd be fun. I think I demonstrated other helicopters actually in the same area, so it must be a habit. But it looks pretty good from the outside. It's got some nice looking features to it. It's got a little bit of smoke from the engine coming out, which is a nice little touch. I like that. And seems to handle really nicely. Again, it's been quite a while since I've been in a helicopter, so I'm not handling nicely, but it does, that's for sure. It seems to go where I'm trying to make it go at this point, so I'm not sure what bridge that was. Kind of looked a little plain, though. It didn't look like it was detailed. Which is weird, considering my buildings right now are on Ultra. Again, if you saw the video I just released earlier of Philadelphia flight, my Philadelphia flight, my buildings are on Ultra, my water's on high, my trees are either on medium or high, and I'm averaging between 31 to 42 frames per second in the cities. Even up close to the buildings, it really seems to be smooth and just functioning really well. So I will be releasing an updated settings video for the Quest 2 using SteamVR virtual desktop. That's how I fly. I don't use a cable. I don't use Airlink. So if you're interested, I'll have a video up again. I have an RTX 3070. It's a laptop, not a desktop model graphics card. Running 32 gigs of RAM. I just recently updated that from 16 gig about 2 weeks ago. Still haven't decided if it was a worthwhile investment, but maybe it was. It's hard to say. And I wish they would fix that darn water issue that little mini update did. I don't know if people have noticed it, but if you see little square lines every once in a while, like tiles in the water, that was one of the reasons. Faneuil Hall in Boston here. That's Faneuil Hall in Boston. So let's take it through the buildings, because I tell you, that's really where you can, for one, test your helicopter skills, and two, test the actual handling of the helicopter, because it's very easy to go too far. Seems to be doing really, really nicely here. So let's go here, and then we'll go outside here. It's Route 3 over there on the left. Route 3 heading down south. Cape Cod, Green Tree Split down there. So that's Charles River over there. There's a pretty decent view of Boston. So, you get the Prudential building here, the Pru as we call it, the Pru. I think it's the Prudential building if I remember correctly. Oh, look at that, it's got like the reflection of the other buildings in it. That's kind of neat. That must be in the photogrammetry. I'm sure it's not actually reflecting. But maybe this. No, maybe this is a Prudential. Oh yeah, sorry. This is a Prudential over here. I wonder what that other building is. No helicopter pad. Oh well. All right, let's come back into Boston here from the other direction. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Helicopter handles really nice. I like this little guy. I think I saw something about an option for floats on the webpage. The flight model's been tested and tweaked to work at a variety of altitudes. It says take some time to get a feel for proper weight loads and takeoff power. Yeah, definitely. Sea level VNE for this is 130 knots. So it's got a fairly decent speed available to you. 7 liveries included. Floats are available, inflated and packaged models. So, all right, well, this should be a fun little test because, again, it's been a while since I've been in a helicopter. So let's see if I can kind of get it close to where I want it without it drifting left, right, forward, backwards, and also without biting my tongue off when it actually lands. All right, here we go, folks. Hey, not too bad, not too bad. So check it out. It's again HCG Cabri G2 helicopter project at Flightsim.to. Thanks for watching. See you in the skies.